If you are a fifth grader and you see a T in your classroom, you're not near as excited as a kindergartner is when you see a T sitting in the classroom. You're thinking, I'm too cool for T-ball. But we're not going to play T-ball, we're going to play T-ball race. So it's a game that we play before we play a little bit of softball or baseball. Sometimes we play inside. Hopefully the weather will be nice enough we can get outside and play outside. First off, we always talk about stance. So make sure you have a good shoulder width part. Shoulder width means that your feet are even or slightly larger or wider than your shoulders. So if I have narrow shoulders, I'm gonna have a little more narrow stance. I like to have my foot back. So I kind of use the white lines. I try to set the tees up so the kids are going to be more successful, and it gives them a spot to put at least one foot. So we start with their foot on the line, other foot back. We're going to just kind of practice moving our weight around, front to back foot. It's kind of a shuffle. All right, after we get done with that, we're going to talk about how to hold the bat. We're going to line up our fingers. So when we have our bat here, our fingers are in line. We got a good grip on the bat. So we start with it on our shoulder, kind of gives us an idea of where to put our hands. Then we lift it up off our shoulders. We get our elbows out. I don't want them out. I want them away from each other so that I don't want them tight against their body. So you're going to pop them out, but you want your hands close to your chest. So you want to be in tight, but you don't want to be way up or way out. So you want to make sure you keep your elbows kind of the same distance apart as you can start your swing. So once we get our good hands positioning, if they're having a hard time with the bat's really heavy and they're having a hard time pointing it, directing it where they need it to go, we'll choke up a little bit and then we'll choke back down once we can start getting a good swing in. So the next thing we talk about is once they get their bat up, get their hands out, or hands kind of close into them, get the bat off their shoulder. Bend our knees, we're not all straight legged. So we're gonna bend our knees a little bit, not way down here, not here. We're not trying to like get a small strike zone. So we're gonna rock back. So we're gonna load back on our foot. Now, when you start your swinging through, you're going to kind of turn your foot, and usually a 45, so what that's going to do is that's going to open your hips, and that's going to be the start of your whole swing. So here, you're loaded back. As you turn your foot, that brings your swing around, opens your body up, and allows you to come in and hit the ball. So we're here, not sitting way down. We got our knees flexible, loaded back, turn the foot. We're going to bring it around, keep that. If you notice, when I'm loaded, my shoulder stays down. I don't pull my shoulder up as I'm coming back. I'm just loading my weight back. So it's more of I'm bringing things back here instead of bringing things back here. Because if my shoulders are up, I want my shoulders to be down at the start of my swing and then rotating it through as I come around. So as I got my elbows up, I'm going to come through. I want to keep that in tight. I don't want to be reaching way out here. So one, if I reach way out there, that's why I don't let them get way too far away, but I also don't want to be way in here. So you want them here, in tight, here. This leg, don't go bending your front leg. So when you're here, this leg here, you're rotating it. So from your toes, here, turn that foot. You're starting, you're in your loaded position. Twist that, turn your weight, start moving your weight forward, and you're going to extend through the ball and out. A couple important things is to hit through the ball. To hit through the ball is to not do what I just did there. So when I'm coming around, you're not stopping here. You're going to come through ball, come through the ball. Here, out, and you want your shoulders are now going to be from your shoulder, your left shoulder being lower, it's going to be end up higher. We talk about the importance of not throwing the bat. When you're hitting, you should have palm up, palm down. As you're hitting, then as you come through the ball. So, here. Now what I have the kids do is after we go through, I'll stand here and I have two kids hitting. See if I can get both of them in there. So we have two T-balls, stands in here, and I have two teams. So there'll be two kids standing, getting ready to hit. Rest of the team stays back behind the black line. And they go down that line that way and over on that way. And I usually stand about right here. I count 3, 2, 1, hit. So they get in their position. They're back, they're ready. 3, 2, 1, hit. Then they have to take off and they have to run down the gym, grab the ball that the other person hit. So I hit the orange ball, I would have to go grab the blue ball. So I get the blue ball and bring it back and set it on their tee, and they would get my orange ball and bring back and set on my tee. Probably should have switched this. Probably should have blue ball. So basically, when you hit, you have to go get the other person's ball, set it up on their tee before they get your ball and set it on the tee. If you win, you get a point for your team. We go through, we do that a couple times around, look at everybody. It gives me a great chance to be able to watch everyone swing. We get to work on it in real time. If somebody misses, so if somebody hits the tee and knocks it over, or the ball flips back, if they hit it and it goes like that, I don't let either team start running yet. Usually on this one I tell them to go after both teams have hit. We put the ball back up, we let them go. Now if they knock it all the way over, so when they hit it, they knock the tee box all the way over, since the other person is going to have to pick up the tee and put it on, we call that a live ball, and they have to still go ahead and go. Kind of depends on how I see them hitting, which kids it is. Older kids, we'll go ahead and play on some of those. Younger kids, we'll keep going back until they get a good swing, a good hit. We talk about adjusting it where it needs to be. And we also talk about if they are left-handed, which I have a number of kids this year, how they're going to just basically switch it up. And we talk about the same things. I'm not a left-hander, but I do my best in showing how to do it. Sometimes when you have to go through, now I find with my left hand, I end up rolling over the bat more at the end, which you don't want to do. You want to come through and just swing it through and hit it. So, and with your bat here, we talk about the safety of not throwing the bat. Couple good things that we do with that one is just talk about holding on to it, to not letting your swing come out too much, because if you're swinging with your wrist, and what that's going to end up doing, this is the weakest part of your grip. So what happens is sometimes that'll pop out of their hands, or they'll end up pulling it out of their own fingers. And so now they have it out here, which now leaves it to the open, just the momentum of it now leaves them with an opening, which is going to end up popping it out of their hand that way. So we talk about making sure you have a good grip on it. You don't want to strangle it, but you also don't want to just have it really loose. So you're holding it in your fingertips if you're holding it like that. So in your fingers, swinging through and controlling it. Then we talk about setting it down and dropping it. So that's T-ball race. I hope you guys enjoy it. Play it with your kids. They'll have a good time. I would try to make sure you use wiffle balls. Work really well for this if you don't have a nice soft foam ball like I have. I've done racket balls. Problem with the racket ball is they bounce really well. So they come back. Same thing with a tennis ball. tennis balls sometimes will break things if you have things like clocks and different things. Tennis ball comes out really hard, so I try not to use those. I try to use like a soft wiffle ball or something that's not going to go as hard and or as fast. So if it bounces back and somebody gets bumped by it, it's not going to hurt. Just like I use a foam bat that has like a hardcore center in it. Um, so all good things. Have a good time. Thanks very much.